It's Mick in Memphis. Charles in East Tennessee. Light it up. Kick back. This is the Real Smoke Podcast. 2 mics, 2 chairs, same sky, different air, long ash, slow burn. Every story takes a turn. Thursdays, 8 o'clock. Let the week just unlock. From the leaf to the glass, we're talking good times that last. This is Real Smoke, Real Smoke. Turn it up, let it roll. From Memphis down the river to the Knoxville Hills, we know real people, real talk. Let the conversation flow. Every Thursday, light it. Listen, welcome to the Real Smoke Show. Cigars, small batch, perfect draw, perfect match. Whiskey whispers in the glass. Let the past and present clash. Legends, up and comers, late nights, long summers, behind the scenes, on the grind. We're getting into every side. This is Real Smoke, Real Smoke. Turn it up, let it roll. From Memphis down the river to the Knoxville Hills, we know real people, real talk. Let the conversation flow. Every Thursday, light it.
This episode may contain strong language, weak opinions, bad advice, and men speaking confidently about things they only half understand. Statements made should not be considered factual, morally sound, especially if they are drinking. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Real Smoke Podcast with your hosts, Mick and Charles. The podcast that's all about real people, real cigars, and real smoke. Coming to you live from the Real Smoke Virtual Cigar Lounge. Bringing you the best of cigars, whiskey, and all the good times in between. It's more than just a podcast. It's a community of cigar lovers. So grab your favorite smoke, pour a drink, and join us as we dive into all things cigars, whiskey, and just having a damn good time. This is the Real Smoke Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 81 of the Real Smoke Podcast. We are your host. That fella over there is Mick. I'm sweating my balls off, Charles. It's hot out here, dude. I'm saying.
You look warm.
Goodness gracious. But before we kick things off, let's go ahead and say what's up, Norm. Hi, Norm. Hi.
Hey everybody, it's Norm with the Cigar Vault Oakdale, a small boutique shop located outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in a small town of Oakdale. So we are talking about a brand new cigar to the humidor, not a new brand to the humidor. We've had Catelli here from the day we launched, really. And the best part is this is a brand new line that they released at PCA called the Modella line. They released both a Habano and a Connecticut version of this. I smoked this at PCA. It was an absolute dynamite of a stick. Matter of fact, I called Johnny 3 holes from the show floor and I told him, I can't wait for you to try this cigar. 4 puffs in, I placed an order for many, many boxes of this cigar. You do not want to miss out. It's the Catelli, Modella, Habano, and Connecticut release.
I keep saying we need to try it. Sooner or later, we need to try it.
Yeah, we'll put that on the list, man. Actually, I think it might already be on my list. So we'll get
It might be on a list somewhere.
It is on a list.
Cool.
Behind a list. Yeah. How you doing, man?
Under another list,
Probably.
on top of the to-do list.
Yes. Correct.
That sounds like all of my list.
Yeah.
I'm tired today. It's hot. I'm tired. I'm glad I'm on here. But other than that, you know, this place is really good that I'm in, you know, for certain months, but
Yep.
where it is got a tin roof and it's 87, 88 degrees. When I got in here to start setting things up, I actually had to let my computer acclimate because it was 98 degrees. And it's like, oh, this isn't good.
Yeah, we were just talking about that in the green room, man. You were like in a sweatshirt or jacket like a month and a half ago. So it's weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
yeah, it's not fun, but right now the sun finally hit the tree line and, you know, it's not in my eyes anymore. I'm actually starting to look, I had half a face there for a while. So the sun's hitting the tree lines now. The breeze is coming through. It's starting to feel bearable, so I'm enjoying it.
Cool. Yeah,
What's
hopefully
going
by
on
the
with
end of
you
this show-
tonight?
Oh man, not much. Just a couple things on my list. We've been saying a lot of things about lists tonight. So I know we're gonna get into it here in a second. Our Patreon. We did our first ever Patreon Zoom HERF on Discord this past Saturday, and it was awesome. We Hayes Gray
It was.
came in. They were amazing. They gave us kind of behind our Patreons a behind the scenes look at their brand, what they got coming up, kind of where they came from on cigars, and it was just awesome. So thank you to Hayes Gray for taking that time. I know you were kind of in between events. Amazing. We gave away that first quarterly prize pack that we've been talking about for a while, and it's growing, man. We got a few new Patreons. Join $5 a month. It's amazing. So it's a lot of great benefits to it.
There you go.
There it is. Join the Patreon, $5 a month, 15% off at Cigar Vault. If you buy anything per month, you'll get your money back right there. Sticker pack, shout out on IG, name on the show credits, which if you were watching, it was there. Members only Discord, ask guest questions, sneak peek at upcoming guests, enter to win quarterly prize pack, ability to attend the monthly Zoom HERF, which we are now doing. We have them scheduled pretty much the first Saturday of the month, and ability to talk with and ask questions to guests. So yeah, that's exactly what happened this past Saturday. Amazing time. I don't think it could have went much better. It was great. And the quarterly prize pack was decided by rock, paper, scissors, which was epic.
Yes.
So it was epic. It was great. So great.
It came down to two of our guys, and Mick stepped away and he said, "Hey, Charles, figure out how they're going to get that." And I was going to write down people's names and put it into a hat, and then realize it came down to two people and said, "Wait, let's have some fun. Best 2 out of 3, paper, rock, scissors." Mick comes back and sits down and says, "Okay, so what are we going to do?" And we said, "We already did it. We got a winner," and it was won by paper, rock, scissors.
It was awesome.
So, yeah,
phenomenal.
They loved it.
So yeah, that's about all I got. I'll apologize now. I already talked to our guests in the green room. I will be jetting out early tonight because the wife is flying in. I haven't seen her for like over 3 weeks, and if I sent someone else, Devin graciously took her to the airport because I was away. Actually, Devin's wife, but anyway. And if I sent somebody to pick her up tonight, I probably wouldn't have a place to live because I haven't seen her in quite a while. So I'll be leaving in about an hour and a half, and I do apologize for that. But stick around. After I leave, there might be somebody taking my place and towards the end of the show. So there's your cliffhanger. So just letting you know.
And if you're somebody who's watched the show before, you probably have a couple of guests. So if you want to put those in the comments, you're more than welcome to. But speaking of comments, we've got a couple of hashtags we need to do. So what are our hashtags for winning tonight?
Tonight, if you have not won this month, which it's only the second week of the month. So if you have not won this
Hologram
month,
and Coulter.
Yep. If that's not your name, you are eligible to win by using hashtag Real Smoke, the standard hashtag. If you have not ever won anything from us ever, use hashtag Real Smoke. Correct. Hashtag Real Smoke new. Put new on the end of that. And you will be in a separate little drawing where you probably have a pretty good shot of winning something. And there might be a third prize tonight, but we'll talk about that later. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into a couple of other people really quickly. Let's go ahead and do Smoke In. Go check out Smoke In Cigar of the Month Club for that price right there. Use code RSNEW. You will get 5 cigars each month. If you use our code, you're going to get a Smoke In torch lighter and a perfect cutter. We're celebrating 1 year with Smoke In, so we do enjoy what they're pushing out. So go check them out. Go sign up and use our code. Let them know. Every time you use that code, that lets them know that you saw it here, and that keeps them on board with us. And we're extremely happy and shocked that we've been with them for a year. So.
Yeah, I will also say that they just followed us on Instagram. They've been sending us cigars for over a year and working with us and hanging out, but they've never followed us until like 3 days ago. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. I feel like we're partners now. It's great. Yeah.
Great. So let everybody know about t-shirts. We have a new one that's going to be coming out tomorrow. So why don't you let everyone know where they can find some merch?
Yeah, if you go to our link tree in our bio of Instagram, that's our main way, or the website. The website also has the link tree. Go to our merch store, says Real Smoke merch on it. And there's a design for everybody. There really is. There's women cut sweatshirts, t-shirts, all kinds of colors, sizes, everything. And but yeah, there's a lot of great ones out there. You got a graphic for me for this, or no? We talking about any of them?
I do not.
Okay, that's cool.
I don't have anything.
We just did one for men's mental health that fought me for like 3 days to get the graphic done. I'm actually redoing it again tomorrow. But for the men's mental health episode, if you watched that, Charles had a great quote on that in the opening song. But yeah, either way, we'll put that shirt out. We'll post it as soon as we're done with that one. But there's like 50 designs on there. Find a shirt you love, buy it. We don't make much on it. We just want to see people in our shirts. So
yeah, check it out. You can go, like you said, go to the website. It's realsmokepod.com. The shirt is going to have a nice little kind of a different Real Smoke logo on the chest, and on the back it'll have the quote that we use. The strongest thing a man can do is say, "I'm not okay." So check that shirt out. I know I want one as soon as it's ready. So yeah. I will say, we always do the Braves Phillies thing. And I said, give it time. The Braves have been getting their butts handed to them.
The Phillies are doing all right, but you still got to get probably a 6-7 game lead. So it's all right. Yeah. So did I really just do that? Son of a. All right. Anyway, let's move on from
Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about it. So for the record right now with the Braves is 45-23. Phillies are 37-31. They're doing better. So, but the Braves still got that slight lead right now. But what really doesn't need to happen is the Braves don't need to play the Phillies again and lose everything to the Phillies, because that's how you tie up that really quick.
Yeah, we'll see. It's about halfway, so we'll see.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the meat of everything.
Right.
We do need to talk about what cigar we're smoking. We do need to introduce our guest. We do have a lot of comments coming in. They're all, I think, talking to themselves right now. Nope, Smoking Samsa says, hey, 6-7.
It happens every damn show.
He caught it on there. He caught it. All right, so tonight's cigar. Let's go ahead and talk about that one. Tonight's cigar is brought to you by 13 Knives.
Hey guys, this is Robert over at 13 Knives, and June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and a sobering fact to think about is by the time you finish watching this podcast, an estimated 8 men will have committed suicide, and who knows how many other will have attempted it. But we need to check in on our loved ones. We need to check in on our brothers and our friends. We joke around, we do a lot of things, and a lot of these guys will smile right back at you and say everything's fine. We need to figure out how to dig deeper. We need to figure out how to get help. And if you're also one of those people that are smiling, to everybody, but inside you're just dying inside, reach out, get some help, do whatever it takes. Make it one more day. If today's a bad day, tomorrow will be better. Just one more day. And then just keep doing it and keep doing it. Let's make a difference. Let's make a difference in our friends' lives. Let's make a difference in our community. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. Hope I didn't bring it down.
Yeah, that one makes me think every time. That's a good spot, but it's sad that it has to be said.
It is.
All right, tonight's cigar, sir.
Tonight's cigar. This week we reviewed the Chèvre Cigar Company Hudson Orange. The wrapper is San Andreas Maduro. Binder, Nicaraguan. Filler, Nicaraguan. Size 54 by 6, and the price is right there on your screen. And again, that's brought to you by 13 Knives.
All righty. So before we bring our guest on, we do need to go ahead and say hi to Haze Gray.
Savor every moment with Haze Gray Cigar. Each blend is crafted for bold flavor, veteran-inspired character, and premium construction. From smooth and approachable to rich and complex in flavor, Haze Gray delivers a cigar for every palate. Now available our new release, Irmãos do Mar. Order Haze Gray Cigars online at Fat Boys Cigars, and from Wolfpack Cigar Club and the Cigar Vault, Oakdale. Visit our website for a list of nationwide retail lounges and to grab some cool Haze Gray merch to rep our brand. As always, we've got your sticks.
All right. And just like that, we have the guys from Chèvre Cigars on. We got Matt up top and we got Nick. Nick's on the bottom.
It's on bottom. Wow. That's crazy.
I accept.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
used to being on. I'm used to being on top, so.
All right, here we go. Now, man, like I said in the green room, thanks for joining us, guys. We always appreciate boutique brands joining us, man. Ones that we need to like. There's ones that we know quite a bit about, going into it, and there's ones we don't. I've seen you guys around a lot. We've talked on Instagram a lot, back and forth, and posted each other's stuff and whatever. But we've never really dug into like who you guys are, and how you get started in this. And that's kind of what we do. So we're honored to have you guys on. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Cool. Thank you guys again, man.
So one thing I'm going to say before we get started, it never fails. One of us is going to lag. One of us is going to drop off. One of us is going to have their internet freeze. Something's going to happen. We are known for it. Out of 81 episodes, it happens probably 78 of them. So if you ever see this pop up, that's basically saying these technical difficulties are brought to you by Katie Cigars, because it's become such a joke with the people who watch this that it took somebody in the comments to say we needed a sponsor for technical difficulties because it happens so often. So if you see that pop up, don't be like, what the crap is this? Understand somebody's having issues.
And the great part is the next day, Mark from Katie reached out and was like, I got that. If you guys want to actually do that thing. Okay, sure. Let's do it. Let's go.
What was
That's
even
cool.
better was that next episode, not one technical difficulty. It
There you
ran
go.
smooth.
That's good.
Very nice.
It works. So where do we
So
want
guys,
to kick it?
let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Let's, as Mick says, I like to say all the time, let's cartwheel back a few years and talk about you guys. Where did you guys meet? I kind of heard in the green room that you guys met a couple of years ago. So let's go back and talk about the meeting between Matt and Nick.
I mean,
Go ahead, Nick. All you.
this is where the old brain farts come, right? Because it was just a couple of years ago. I think we were about, give or take, 5 years old when we first met each other. So we attended elementary school together, and
That was in the late 1980s, by the way.
yes,
To give you a perspective timeline. We probably met in I would say 1988 or 80. Yeah, I would say 1988.
And you guys grew up in New York, correct?
we legitimately grew up one block away from each other.
Okay. Yeah, tell us about that, man. How did you guys grow up? Like, what part of New York, if you don't mind, and kind of talk about school a little. Talk about you guys do sports together. Anything from your childhoods, man. Like how you guys kind of came together and became brothers. And
Sure. Go ahead, Matt. Run with it.
So we grew up in Brooklyn. We grew up in a neighborhood called Gravesend. A lot of people don't really know about Gravesend. A lot of people from the neighborhood just said they lived in Bensonhurst because Bensonhurst was kind of the famous area, of Brooklyn. That's where all the gangsters came from. And but we grew up in Gravesend and legitimately grew up around the block from each other. So I grew up on a block with all row houses, so I was completely connected. Nick grew up on a block with semis. So, we grew up very, very close to our neighbors. No grass, very little trees, literally the concrete jungle. Growing up, we did pretty much all our activities in the schoolyard. We played all our sports in the schoolyard. And as we got older, we drank and smoked in the schoolyard. Like that's just, basically the way we grew up. We started in elementary school together in kindergarten. I do have our kindergarten class picture. Me and Nick are in it. I don't know where it is, but I have it somewhere. And then we went through all of elementary school together. We went to the same junior high school and then the same high school. So we literally have seen each other every day and talked to each other every day for the past 38 years.
Yeah, whatever that
Or so.
meant.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, man.
after all that time, y'all haven't like gotten tired of each other or beat each other to a pulp yet?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like so. I don't know. I don't know that I can pinpoint an actual argument in all
Yeah.
these years. Yes, you're
Yeah.
gonna have disagreements, right, while you're doing stuff, but an argument, I don't know. It's kind of like, so we grew up very like take it as it goes type thing, right? So we're very easy to get along with. We go with the flow. We don't, if one of us says, hey, let's do this, and the other one really doesn't want to do it, but then it's like, whatever. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Well, what's the worst that could happen?
We've always been very easygoing people. Like, it doesn't take much to make us happy. We don't need much to do anything. Like, two people, good conversation, we're good to go. If there's a bottle involved, we'll drink it. If there's a cigar involved, we'll smoke it. It's just, we've always been very, very, very easy.
So what kind of things did you two get into growing up? I mean, were you two sports guys or band guys, or what kind of things kind of drove y'all into, activities?
I mean,
drinking.
I played soccer. Well, wait. When do we want to start? We want to
All
start.
right, let's start from the beginning. Start early.
Jesus Christ, man, it goes right into drinking.
I was about to say,
All right.
man, y'all started it young.
Well, in fifth
Got
grade, we found tequila.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Then it was all downhill from there. No, but yeah. I mean, Matt was definitely much deeper into sports than I was. I only played soccer as a kid for a few years, but Matt was into baseball, into basketball, into hockey, all that stuff, and but that didn't separate us, right? We still got together almost every couple days. Went to the schoolyard, play stickball, play handball, play, hang out at each other's houses, play stoop ball. If anyone knows what that is, raise your hand. Yeah, see, I thank God I got it. That was great. I love to stump people. That's good stuff.
I don't know if that's a long story, but I'd love to know what that is, just for my own knowledge.
So stoop ball, I'll explain it real quick. You use a sky bounce or a blue ball or a handball, right? You use a handball, and you throw it off of your front steps, right? And then if it goes across the street, from your steps across the street and lands across the street, it's a home run, right? If it lands in the middle of the street, it's a double. If it hits the car on the other side of the street, it's a triple. And if when you throw the ball, the opposite team stands in front of the car, in front of the steps, and if they catch it, you're out. So it's baseball, except you just throw it off a stoop. Basically,
the batter.
Sounds like fun. Yeah.
We used to play that for hours and hours and hours. Yeah.
As soon as you said soccer, Charles was like, shit, here goes Mick again. Like, I played for probably 20 years. I coached for another like 15 total. They overlapped there a little bit, but that soccer is a huge part of my life. It started out coaching my daughter. Yeah, man, I love soccer. I still do. I'm excited for the World Cup, and I'll stop now before Charles says he'll mute me eventually. But yeah, I love soccer, man. Just a great sport. Hockey's my favorite sport to watch, but if playing, man, I still got my heart's in that game. I love playing soccer.
Sure.
I'm just old now, and it hurts way too much. So
I really wanted to have fun with that and accidentally kick you off the screen, but I'll let you keep going.
It glitched for a quick second. I was like, oh shit, he just booted him. Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, we're at this stage in the game, like we're literally family, right? That's the way it works. Like, my kids call him Uncle Nick. His kids call me Uncle Matt. Like, my kids refer to his kids as cousins. Like, they don't even know that they're not related, I call his mom and dad. He calls my mom and dad. Like, that's just, like, his parents had moved to Florida many years ago, and me and my wife went down to Florida and went to go visit his parents without him and his brothers. So that's just basically, the way the relationship has gone ever since we were kids, and now our kids are getting to grow up together and hang out together and see each other. So it's kind of like, now becoming a generational thing, which is, a lot more than a lot of people could say, You know, a lot of people can't say that they've had friends their entire lives, and I literally have a brother for, you know, my entire life. So it's cool. It's definitely a cool thing. You know?
So growing up together and spending all that time together, this goes to both of you because you may either have the same story or both have a different story. Nice.
Yeah,
That was everywhere.
Motorcycle driving down my block.
Give me an insane story growing up. It doesn't matter if 5 years old or 15 years old. Give me an insane story that you two were involved in that you're like, how did we get here and how did we not die?
Oh.
Or get arrested.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother podcast. I got one. I got one. I'll let you tell it though. I would say, is anybody's on that's listening from your family right now? No, you don't know. The house party at your house.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, I guess this was the beginning of the end of stuff, right? As soon as we realized, oh, our parents trust us enough to go somewhere and leave us home alone. And of course, that kind of sparked hey, let's have a gathering. Let's have a get together.
It's only going to be a few people.
Yeah. Yeah, a few people turned into a lot of people, and a lot of unnecessary consumption of stuff. And yeah, man, I don't know how I put the house back together after that party, where no one knew what happened. But here we are. I'm still alive, so we did something right, you know.
There was a couple of light fixtures that weren't still light fixtures, and there was a couple of doors that were no longer on hinges. I don't really know what happened. They weren't broke; they were just removed.
Yes.
So
that pretty much eliminated us ever touching a bottle of Black House raspberry schnapps forever. Forever. That put that on the shelf, and nope, I'll never ever purchase one of those again.
I love how there's always one or two stories in every podcast where I'm like, yep. Like it's amazing how many people have a very similar story. I somehow put my house back together, but unfortunately somebody broke the back door and I could not get a piece of glass in time. And I was like, no, the door just slammed shut in the wind, and they didn't buy it like that. It was they knew better, but at the same time it might have kept me alive, I guess. But no, so you guys are tell us, you guys graduate high school, you guys still obviously hanging out doing your thing. I mean, you guys go right into the workforce, or kind of you guys are what was how'd that look when you guys got out of school and kind of as you got a little bit older? Oh shit.
I mean, who's this?
What?
Mr. Justin asking some crazy questions right now.
He wants to know we need to ask you about your DJ careers.
Okay.
Okay, so me and Nick, we used to go to a lot of parties. We used to go to a lot of house parties, and that was a big thing. Like in the city, when we were in like high school, people would get together in houses, and there was never really like any real type of music playing. So we decided to start an entertainment company, and we bought equipment and music and started DJing. And
well, let's tell them the origin of this, right? How it actually started. So we had no monies, right? You need monies to do this stuff, right? We were just a bunch of kids. And so essentially what we did was we each had a Sony Walkman CD player.
Mm-hmm.
And his father just happened to have an amplifier and speakers in his living room. And so we maybe borrowed it. And that's how we did our first gig.
And we created a makeshift system that was louder than everybody else's system. So we became DJs.
Yeah. And then, we progressively expanded that and started actually booking real parties and getting real deposits and being able to purchase real equipment. And, you know, at one point we had enough to do maybe 2-3 parties in a day simultaneously, enough in equipment. And we did it for the better part of our, you know, I guess high school and just after college career. And, you know, because I know how some people grew up with getting allowances. I didn't get an allowance. I had nothing. So I can't remember asking my parents for any sort of money since I was 13 years old, maybe. And since that point, me and Matt, we've always figured out a way to do something to put a buck in our pocket so that we can go have fun on a weekend. And the DJ thing, you know, everyone can say in New York, I was a DJ. Everyone was a DJ in New York, right? And we weren't looking to get rich off of it. We were just looking to get enough money to go out and hang out, right? And, you know, it got to a point where we were doing pretty large parties. We, I think I guess our largest thing that the craziest thing we've ever gotten booked for was Miss Delaware got us down to Delaware to DJ her after party. So here we are, a bunch of friggin' 19, 20-year-olds driving to Delaware to DJ a party for like, I don't know, remember how many people were there. There was a lot of people.
There was a lot of people there.
Like had to be like 400, 500 people there.
Yeah.
And, you know, so like we scaled it, you know, until we got to a point where we, you know, we kind of had to start getting a real job and start making real money. I mean, we could have done that, but I don't know. I guess it was just, it was a fun experience while it lasted. We made good money while we did it, and we had a ton, and I mean a ton of fun doing it.
Yeah.
So Aldi wants to know, for the love of God, we need your DJ names.
I charge for that information, sir.
Yeah, you're going to have to scour the internet to find out that information. So, sorry, you can't have that for free.
All right, Mick, so I'll let you go back into what your question was. I just wanted to get that out there.
Well, I think you started kind of answering it. You mentioned college. So did you guys go to college together? You kind of go your own separate ways. What was the deal after high school? Where did you guys go from there?
I went to DeVry for a couple of years, but unfortunately nothing came of it. You know, I went for networking, but by the time I was out of there, you know, setting up networks were pretty much a do-it-yourself thing, and it just didn't do anything for me. You know, through high school, our last half a year, I ended up taking an internship, and I worked for a company where we set up the first networks for like Brooklyn College and one of the high schools, and I used to go to different companies and help them set up their, you know, the first, like, where you had to, you know, grab a laptop and physically program each IP address one by one. Like, it wasn't like this whole DIY, hit the button and it sets up itself type thing. So, but that, you know, that didn't end up going anywhere for me. So
yeah, I ended up going for a couple of years to Brooklyn College, and I was definitely not college material. I couldn't sit still long enough to listen after a while. And
So I was living. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had to pay to be there, which irked me even more. So.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what happened with me. I got accepted for an interview and a meeting with DeVry in Atlanta. So I drove from Kentucky down to Atlanta for this one, and it was all well and good until I was going down for web development, because in high school, my sophomore year in high school, I would go into the bathroom, change into a suit, and I would go to these hotels and I was selling websites. I was doing everything from major hotels and things like that. So DeVry wanted me. I went down there, got into an argument with the DeVry person, decided I did not want to do that one because me coming from Kentucky down to there, they thought they were a little bit higher class than I was. So I came back home, and within a year and a half, GoDaddy comes out, and the web industry just bottomed out. So it's like I was about to spend all the money to go into that for about before I would have graduated, there would have been no jobs.
Right. Right. Yeah, same thing, man. While I was at DeVry, the majority of the classes when I first got there were just nonsense. It was just like, why am I taking this? I'm not here for this. I'm here to do actual networking work. And out of all the courses I took, there was only one class that I respected. I absolutely loved the professor. I loved what he put into it. This man didn't even live in the United States. Follow me here. He lived in Canada. Would fly in every week to teach the course throughout the week and fly home on Friday. The dedication behind that made me want to go to his class. In that class is where I learned how to build myself my own computer for the first time. I had my parents take me to like a swap meet thing. I bought all the parts. I brought them into class, and I built my own, at the time, what was like one of the most powerful computers you could have. And it was like, all right, this is cool. This is what I want to do. But why am I spending money to learn all this other nonsense that I just learned in high school? Why am I doing this again?
Well, see, mine started I started doing stuff for that in 98. So this is when, everything just broke out. So in 2000 is when I had my meeting. And I guess the question that started an argument was, the lady was like, I know you're coming from an area that, doesn't have much technology. Why should we give you a chance down here?
Huh.
And I said, okay, well, explain to me what I would be learning here. And she went through, just straightened up and went through this whole list of, you're going to be learning how to do this, this, and this. And I said, pull up your computer and go to this website. Then I said, go to this website. And I said, I'm doing that now. And these are active websites for hotels, attorneys, military installation out of Switzerland. I said, I'm doing all of these now. So what makes me think that I would fit you? I'm doing what your graduates are already doing, and I'm not even here.
Right.
And that's when my decision got made. So,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Mick. I know you just jumped in.
No, I was just gonna say, that's why I became a plumber, man. Nobody can stop people from shitting and clogging pipes. So hey, I'm good. I'm now managing that stuff, but still, nobody's ever gonna take that away from me. So it is what it is. I can always make.
I got a job with Con Edison, which is the electric company here in New York. I got a job in the union. I was doing underground electric construction for 8 years, and then 3 years ago I took a management position, and I've been in Con Ed for 11 years now. And same thing like you, I live in the city of lights, and as long as everybody needs electricity, I will have a job for the rest of my days as long as I want it. And kind of the same feeling, everybody's still shit, so everybody's still got to turn a light on. So I had made that decision when the job came over, and I took it and never looked back.
Mm-hmm.
So where were you guys? What point of your life were you two hanging out and cigars became, a staple or something to try?
I was 17 years old. Maybe it was right before that, because my cousin introduced me to cigars. He would be smoking in his garage. We lived right next door to each other. We shared a driveway, so he would be in the backyard with his friends smoking whatever. And that's where I kind of first started seeing it all. And then I was in his bridal party, and that's where I had my very first cigar, which was a punch cigar. And I was about 17 or so when I had my first cigar.
Yes, you were 17. It was right before we turned 18.
Yep.
Because the day after the wedding, or the day after that, the wedding, I had my first cigar, and we took a walk. We went to Sheepshead Bay.
That's
Remember?
right.
We walked the boardwalk,
Yep.
promenade on Sheepshead Bay, and we had went to a corner store. And the first cigar that I ever smoked was a Romeo and Juliet Bully, because I walked in and it was the only name that I recognized, and that was a cigar that I grabbed. And me and Nick smoked. He smoked his second cigar, and I smoked my first cigar. And ever since then, become, when you first start, it becomes a, once in a while thing, then it becomes once in a more regular while thing, and then it becomes, twice a week, then it becomes every day. And that's basically our progression. And this has been going on since we're 17 years old.
Wow.
So you're talking 25 years now.
So I guess when you look back and you think about that first cigar, I know with me, exact same thing, man. I was always a hunting trip, fishing trip, special occasions, weddings, stuff like that. I'd have a cigar, and then it became more of a thing after I moved to Tennessee, and it's like kind of become a ritual now. But for you guys, like, where did you graduate from there for like cigars? Like, did you guys you start going down a rabbit hole with anything? I know back then there wasn't as many smaller boutique brands. It was more probably mainstream when you guys first got started. But where did it go from there for you?
So there were no boutique brands, right? They I'm sure they existed in spaces, but in New York, it was the run of the mill basic stuff, right? Even today, when you go into shops, I don't know if you guys have ever been to New York, you ever been to the city before. New York is a very interesting place for a lot of things. It's great for a lot of things, right? It's great for nightlife and sporting events and food. It's awesome. But for cigars, it's absolutely terrible, right? It's a terrible place to purchase cigars. It's a terrible place to try to obtain cigars, right? People in New York don't like the old school people don't like change. They don't like new. The people smoke what they smoke. So stores that have regulars only carry what they sell. They don't really try to, influx new stuff. And with the prices of cigars here in New York, it's very, very difficult to get a shop to get new stuff, because if it doesn't move, they're out a lot of money. You want a Monte Cristo, you want a Romeo and Juliet, you want a Drew Estate, you want the Perdomos, the AJ Fernandez. You could get them in every single shop in New York, right? If you want any type of boutique stuff, unless you have a personal relationship with the owner of the shop, you're not getting in there, right? Because boutique stuff really doesn't move in high trafficked areas, basically where we lived in. So in the beginning, we would literally walk into like a bodega or a corner where they sell cigars and be like, oh, that looks cool, let's try that. Oh, that looks cool, let's try that. And that's basically kind of what we did for a while. And then you find the ones that you like and you kind of stick to those, right? As you go, you kind of stick to those. This is before we were talking about, flavor profiling and wrappers, and binder and filler. Like, we didn't know any of that. We just bought off eye appeal, something that looked familiar or sounded familiar, or something maybe you heard somebody talk about, right? Because like, we were 17, we didn't have cell phones, right? We didn't have internet on our cell phones. We were still using dial-up, internet, so researching and doing everything, it wasn't really there, so it was kind of just pick whatever, and we didn't buy the majority of our cigars from like lounges, because lounges are few and far between. We bought mostly from bodegas and corner stores that happen to just sell cigars in a little humidor, that they have. That's where the majority of our purchasing came from, until we found out we can order from Pennsylvania. They would ship to us and it's a quarter of the price. And then we started doing that. And once that era happened, then we started to expand brands. And a lot of times it would just be like, oh, that sounds cool, that's a cool name, that's a cool looking wrapper, that's a cool looking logo, and that's what we would grab. So it's been a long journey, man. We've been smoking 25 years, so we've seen the cigar industry go from only legacy brands, right? That's all you were smoking were legacy brands, because that's all that was available, to now you have all these ultra niche, hyper boutique companies that, are putting out cool artwork and, local guys and everything. And it's like, for us, we always supported local, we always support, even growing up in Brooklyn, we supported our local pizzeria. We didn't go to the chain, we supported our local corner store. Like, then, we both moved to Staten Island, and it was kind of the same concept. So we kind of do the same thing with like, local brands. So that's why even now, like, I'll still smoke the mainstream stuff, here and there, because I have it. But as far as like new purchases go, I pretty much only try to buy, companies like us, show support to to those people trying to do what we do. And I've also found that lately, a lot of times, their cigars are just better.
It's just,
Not all the time, just better.
yeah, listen, the smaller companies like us, right? We got to put a lot more thought behind anything we put out because we don't have that big shot to shoot, right? Yeah, you miss a couple of times, all of a sudden you're irrelevant at that point. So, and if we're not gonna at least try to help the others that are in this space with us, then the big guys ain't gonna help you, right? And the guys that smoke their everyday regular cigar that they've been smoking for 50 years, chances are, unless you put it in their hand, they're not going to help you out either. We would love to change that mentality, and I believe that all of the smaller boutique companies, I'm assuming that is all of our goal, right? Is to educate and broaden horizons and bring people into all the newer stuff because we're willing to take a chance and try new stuff and bring new flavor profiles to the market. And, because a big company, if they know they're going to sell the same cigar they've been making for 40 years, they're not going to change. They're not going to add, So it falls on us, the smaller guys, to educate the people, to broaden their horizons. Just last night, I got together with a few people here in my new community. I didn't even know people smoke cigars in here until we put it on our Facebook group. And one guy's like, "Hey, what do you think about if I hosted a cigar night?" I'm like, "Yeah, 100%, I'm in." And the couple of guys that I met there, same thing. Like I was just shooting off, not even my own brand at first, but I was just like shooting off names of boutique companies and smaller companies. And they were just like, "What? What is that? What is this? What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, my friend, we're gonna become friends. I'm gonna help you. We're gonna do this journey together now." So,
And Charles Freeze, what just happened? You there?
No, I had somebody trying to call in, so I was trying to take care of that one. So
Okay.
what I was going to say earlier was looking at the brands when you said you found out that you could start ordering and getting things sent to you. What were some of the brands that you found that you guys really were diving deep into then, and now where you're at 20 some years later? What brands are you finding yourself diving deep in now?
So me personally, I have always been a very big Roma Craft fan. I've been smoking Roma Craft for a very, very long time definitely before it was, as pronounced as it is now in the industry. Between Roma Craft and Room 101, and I told this to Matt Booth the last time I spoke to him. I said I've been smoking Room 101 before it was cool to smoke Room 101. I happened to buy a Room 101 cigar that I saw and I smoked it and I loved it. And then I just kept, finding more of, Booth's stuff. And I'm talking, Nick, it's been a long time. It's probably been 15 years or more. And I've been a regular Room 101 smoker for that long. And as far as like other brands now, I kind of go, like I said, we support local. Like Cigar Vault, Norm will be like, "Oh, we got this new brand in, blah blah blah. Try this, cool." And Norm recommends it, I buy it. That's simple as that, right? And I'll buy it and I'll try it. And if I don't like it, I'll never buy it again. And if I like it, I do his monthly club, the Vault monthly club. And, just the other day I called him up and I said, "Hey, Norm, do me a favor. I want a couple cigars. Just add it to, my shipment when it comes in of stuff to try." So I've been doing that a lot lately. And to be honest with you, ever since we started this cigar company, I do smoke a lot of my own cigars. I mean, why wouldn't I? That was, to me, that was the biggest dream that I had, for me doing this is I get to smoke my own branded labeled cigar that, we, as a group decided to, we're going to put this out. We're going to make this band. We're going to make it this color, like it's ours. So, besides that, we do put out good cigars. I'm not even saying that because it's my brand. So if you guys have smoked it before, I hope you guys agree. But we've gotten very good feedback, and we are definitely in contact with our customers, on a personal level as much as we can be, trying to get feedback from our stuff. So,
And
yeah.
that's the beauty of us being, I guess, smaller right now, right? Is that if you send me a DM, you send me a text, you send me an email, whatever, like you're gonna get one of us responding to you, and I will become your friend. I'm a very easy person to get to know. I'm a very easy person to speak to. I'll always pick up the phone for you. I'll always answer you back, and that's what some of the bigger companies obviously. And in all due respect to them, right? I get it, right? They're huge. They can't really respond to every single person, and hopefully one day we maybe get to that. And I don't know. I mean, so I guess back to the question, right? I know for me personally, I moved out of the your regular legacy brands and started exploring some smaller names. And one of my very first ones, well, maybe not my very, very first ones, but one very long ago, was, I believe, Justin from Bunny Droppings. I know Matt knows Justin even longer than I know Justin. And when he first started putting out cigars, and, it was like, holy crap, like this is freaking good. Like this is so much better than that stuff I used to buy at the bodega at the corner store. And like, all right, this is cool. And I became a cult follower of that, and that kind of put me in the realm of, what, maybe I got to look into a name I don't know, and who knows what comes of it, right? And and he's been awesome to us. He's helped us out through our whole journey of what we've been doing from the very start. It was basically because of him that we were able to first put our first cigar out, with our club logo on it. Because like the whole idea behind it was, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead in time here.
That was gonna be my next lead in anyway. I was actually gonna say first, Roma Craft was my gateway cigar, Matt. So I feel you 100%. My brother-in-law, I was smoking a lot of Legacy too, and some of the off-brand Legacy, but I love, man. He's like, you got to try this. Roma Craft for me put me into this whole rabbit hole of boutique stuff, man. No bunny droppings joke intended there. It took me down a rabbit hole with cigars, and it was good stuff, man. But no, yeah. Let's get into that, man. So how did you guys? You're obviously smoking a lot of cigars. That's part of your ritual, part of your brotherhood, part of your club thing. That's how it came together. Tell us how that came together and how you guys actually were like, you know what, fuck it, we're making a cigar.
So
how that work?
I mean, so basically, it started in 2018. We started an Instagram page, right? Because Instagram just started to become popular and whatnot. We're like, hey, maybe we should be involved in this. And we started an Instagram page, and we saw that, like, we were just posting random pictures,
Awesome.
smoking stuff, like nothing specific, just smoking stuff. And all of a sudden we realized, like, the following just kept growing and growing. And before we knew it, we hit like 1,000 followers. And we're like, who the hell is following us? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are we to be followed? But hey, I guess, right? And nobody knew about algorithms and all this funky stuff that goes on today in social media. And we got to a point where, we had a few thousand followers on Instagram, and so we created the page it's called Goat Cigar Club. That was our original page. It's been around since 2018. In 2021, we kind of all got together, like the core guys that we put the club together, and we were just trying to build like just an online community type thing. And we're like, how cool would it be to stick our logo on a cigar and offer it up to people that are following us, right? And thank God for us, we had the connection, with Justin, who was able to procure us cigars, which I think I'm allowed to say because we said it on other podcasts, right? So we were blessed enough that Matt Booth was able to step in and produce a cigar with us for our very first cigar. So imagine that. Like, that's mind-blowing to begin with. You live and you learn, right? We were bundling them in bundles of 10, and we weren't really asking a lot of money back then, but I guess we were. We were only, I think we were selling for like $100, $110 for a 10-pack or something like that. But it is a little scary because at the beginning, nobody knows who you are. Who's going to just fork over $100 for 10 cigars they've never tasted from a place that they've never heard of, right? So it was a little bit of a scary time at the beginning because we already had all the cigars in hand, and now it was just a matter of selling them and getting them out there, right? So after about, I would say almost 50%, give or take, Matt, right, of the project, like, it kind of slowed down for a while, and we're like, holy crap, we're screwed. Like, either we're screwed or we have a lot of cigars to smoke right now. But once it got out there, people started sharing the cigar, and new people started getting to know it, and they were like, what is this? And where am I getting it? And that's where kind of like the floodgates opened, and eventually that project, we sold through everything we had. And the following year, we were like, yo, maybe this could be something, right? This could turn into something. So the very next cigar we put out was actually a collaboration with Bunny Droppings. It was called the Hair of the Goat. It was a 6x60, right? Which personally, I don't like 60s, but we released it. Sold out in 48 hours.
Yeah.
48 hours.
And then ever since then, we just haven't looked back.
That's absolutely insane. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. And
So,
now I think
Money Matt wants to know what the name of the first cigar was.
So originally it didn't have a name, but it kind of adopted the name of the Smoking Goat.
So if you guys have ever seen our Goat Cigar Club logo, it has the goat smoking a cigar inside the round logo. So it kind of looks like the Chèvre Cigar Company logo, which we'll get into in a little later.
Yeah, we'll
so the Goat Cigar Club logo is a round logo. Goat Cigar Club with the goat head. The first cigar we ever did had the goat head on it, so we kind of called it the Smoking Goat, and it just stuck. So it just became this.
Do you guys have any of those hidden away anywhere? I'm just curious for my own knowledge. You guys got any stashed away?
I cannot. Yeah, the official answer is no. That's officially the official answer. And if anybody is listening, if anybody's listening that has them, I will buy them today.
All right. So how did it go from doing 2 cigars for a cigar club to going into thinking, instead of just putting out cigars for people who think like us or want to hang out with us, let's put out cigars for everyone? Because that's a step. That's a big step.
Huge step, actually. So we did that for a couple of years. We ran with that, right? Chèvre Cigar Company actually came about officially in 2023. And the reasoning behind it was, we're like, okay, if we really want to do this and we want to maybe start marketing to shops and lounges and stuff, we need something that's not so, I guess you want to say gimmicky, or something that looked a little bit more professional on retail shelves, right? Where someone would take it serious. So we kind of went on a hunt to figure out, all right, what could we call the brand without losing its origin behind the whole story, right? Because we didn't want to lose the goat aspect of it, because we had built it to a point where most of our LE drops were literally selling out every single time, right? So Matt actually found the name Chèvre, which means goat in French, and it was kind of a cool name. It was short. It's a single syllable name. It was easy to, for most people, it's easy to say. Some people mispronounce it, but whatever, right? It is what it is. But it was just a more professional way to present the brand. And then my brother, who's actually part of our company, he's our graphic designer, came up with the variation that you see today for Chèvre Cigar Company, which essentially is still the goat, but it's just a different facing goat, and it's not so cartoonish, right? And we thought that would fly better in retail space, better than a cartoon goat. The Goat Cigar Club page is still alive. It's still pumping. We still kept that as our, club page and community and all that stuff. But the official, cigar brand has now evolved into Chèvre Cigar Company.
So Mark wants to know, why a goat?
Because we're the greatest of all time.
Listen, the phrase has been around forever, right? And we can all agree to that. But it's kind of funny that, like, it wasn't really used, especially in the tobacco world, right? Nobody was using it there. Nowadays, all of a sudden, you see it popping up everywhere, and everyone's using a goat for every little thing. But we thought it was cool at the time, and it just kind of stuck. And and who the hell doesn't like goats?
Absolutely. Apparently, Charles and I have both been saying it completely wrong. So cool, and
Yeah.
You'll hear that in my review that I pre-recorded if you listen. But anyway, so I apologize for that. I actually thought there was an RE on the end. I mean, there is technically, but it just apparently it's silent.
So if you look at the name, if you have a cigar in front of you, if you look at the logo, right, the CHEV in the name is written one way, and the RE is reversed, right? So when you look at the logo, you just say Chèvre, right? It looks like Chevre because it's French, but it's just pronounced Chèvre. So when Dom had designed it, he kind of added that in as a talking point, and then once you hear it for the first time, and we tell you, when you read it, just pronounce the letters that are facing forward, the two letters that are reversed are silent. Now it's Chèvre from now on. And like Nick said, it just means goat in French. So,
and it's mostly used on cheeses. So we kind of did that background on it, and we looked it up, and basically the only place that's used I've ever seen is on goat cheese. So we're like, okay, this could rock.
So when you guys were contemplating putting this brand together, who was it that you went to start talking about, is this a good idea? Should we do this? Who should we work with? Who were kind of the mentors in your game? I would say probably Justin was one of them, but who were some of the other ones?
Justin was the main one. It's because of him that we were able to get our connections to, where we could procure the cigars and stuff like that. And, he helped us make our connections, to, the factories we get them from and who we work with,
So speaking of factories, do you guys work with a main factory, or do you go out to different ones?
No, we work with a couple of different ones, depending on what we are looking to release. And so you know, no one particular factory.
So we have
So
basically our releases, right? We tried in the beginning to base a lot of our releases on where the majority of our clientele comes from, right? So the majority of our clientele is Northeast. Um, in the beginning. Now we have spread, a lot further through the world, basically. But our Northeast customers but that was basically, the majority. That's where we grew up. That's where we live. That's where our contacts are. And then when those spread, they tell their people, and their people also live in the Northeast, pretty much. So we were creating cigars for our releases pretty much based on where our mass clientele was buying from and where they lived and the temperature and of when we're doing our releases. So our first release of the year, all the time, our LE drops, we've been doing something called conspiracy theories. It's the first release every year. We do a different conspiracy theory. All of those have been pretty much 5x50s. I think they've all been Dominican. I think they've all been Dominican 5x50s because we released them first part of the year in the Northeast. It's still cold. People are not looking to really smoke, 6x56s, 6x60s. They're looking to smoke the smaller cigars. So we've added that layer onto our releases to, again, just try to take care of the people who, buy from us all the time. We don't want to sell somebody a Churchill in January and then it sits for 6 months because they don't have, the time and premise to smoke it. So depending on, the size of the cigar and the wrapper and where it's coming from, we definitely work with multiple different factories to blend and produce our stuff.
So you said you got your the line that you come out, your limited that you come out with at the first of the year. What other lines do you have in your catalog?
So the conspiracy theories that's pretty much a standing line every year, and we try to come out with between 3 to 4 LE drops a year. We don't want to oversaturate, but at one point we were doing 4, but 4 kind of seemed a little bit too much, and over the years, because the initial releases were kind of selling out a little too quick. I mean, it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing at the same time. So as we've progressed, the runs have been getting slightly bigger. So we were able to kind of shrink, maybe, I guess you want to say, the amount of LE releases per year, but still have enough stock to supply in between releases. And then, so last year, we kind of took between conspiracy theories and our next release last year, we took a kind of a big gap, and it was mainly because we were kind of working on these cigars that are now at Cigar Vault. And so we have 5 different blends that we have at the Cigar Vault, which we were creating not actually to be in retail. We were creating them to have on our new website that we're building, to have something for someone to purchase in between LE releases at all times. What ended up happening is last year we were up in Pittsburgh at Cigar Vault for an event, and we set up a table to on the first night of the event, and it did so well that we kind of had the conversation with Norm, and it just kind of became a thing. And we were like, you know what? We've been talking about going retail. Norm gave us that opportunity, and that's how we ended up now using these blends as our retail as of right now. But again, so like we created these things to just get put on our website. So we didn't think of this as a too long term of a thing. We were planning to like switch up maybe the vitolas on each blend and come, just keep switching them out, which may still happen. But for now, like, they've been doing pretty well at the vault, and people seem to love them. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Connecticut that we have out at the vault, I think, is his #1 selling cigar, which is pretty crazy.
So you ended up having pretty much a core line for retail by accident.
Basically.
So we were getting good problems that turned into not so good problems. Like we said, we were, releasing a cigar, selling out quickly, and then the weeks that came after that, we were getting, what else do you have? What's next? What else do you have? What's next? Can I buy something else? Blah, blah, blah. And we weren't able to give people a product because the next thing that we were doing was another LE release, maybe 2 or 3 months down the road. So we needed to solve that issue. And we decided to, do this run of 5 cigars that we were going to have, where if somebody wants a Chèvre cigar, you can get it at any time. Then, like Nick said, we went to the event and we had such good feedback from the cigars at the event. And he had a few of his locals that were there and were like, yo, you guys need to leave this here because I'll smoke this regularly. And we had a conversation and we were like, we could do that, right? We definitely can. We can do that. So now if somebody wants, one of these products, we just send them over to Cigar Vault. They put an order in and now they could get our product 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So for anybody who's watching right now, hashtags tonight are #RealSmoke if you haven't won from us this month, or #RealSmokeNew for anybody who's never won anything from us. The prizes tonight that we're giving away are two $25 gift cards to the Cigar Vault. So going into these, they can find your stuff there. What's the products? What's the line that you have there? Tell us a little bit about that. That way, if somebody wins tonight, they can go load up.
Yeah, for sure, man. So the 5 cigars that we have there, we have 2 variations of a Habano at the vault, 2 variations of a Maduro, and our Connecticut. So, I mean, if you go on to cigarvault.com and just type in the word Chèvre, it'll pop up all 5 facings for it. And we kind of tried to do it where we could hit just about everyone's comfort zone as far as a vitola size. The Connecticut is like a 6x56. There's one Habano that's a shorty, which is a 5x60. Which some people have told me, yeah, that's a very New York thing to have a 60 ring gauge, but have it a short smoke. Well, like, yeah, because we kind of want to cater to our people that are from the Northeast, and that's what they would probably go for. We have a Churchill there. That's a 7x52 Maduro. The cigar I'm smoking now, which is a 6x54 Toro, box pressed. And the one that Matt just lit up, that's a 6 1/4 by 54 Habano box press torpedo.
I will say this real quick before I forget, because I won't be here for the review. I know I told you before I pre-recorded it, but I smoked the Hudson Orange, the box press. I'm a big box press guy, man. And I will say a lot of consistent flavors throughout, a lot of flavors I enjoy in a cigar. I enjoy a box press. It's one of those, I know Charles has said it on previous shows, and I've kind of adopted it. It's one of those that if you're don't want to think about a cigar, but you want something quality that's the whole way through, it's a great cigar, man. It really is. It's something that, it would pair very well with either a dry red wine, I think, which I didn't. I think I had bourbon with it the other night, but honestly, something that's consistent flavors that's not going to change on you throughout, like not one you don't have to think about. Just a good cigar, man. Good cigar.
Yeah, And I'm kind of glad that you guys chose to review this cigar, because for us being from New York, right, and I'm sure that everyone understands what's happening right now. The Knicks are super hot in the NBA Finals, and we've kind of been promoting this cigar this whole series because it kind of fits, right? The color scheme is the New York Knicks colors, right? Hence why the name Hudson. And so I'm kind of glad that you guys picked that cigar to go to.
Yeah, it worked out, man. That's a hell of a series. The NHL series is just as good too, and my team's not even in it, man. So it's a good time for sports. I've been enjoying it. I don't love the NBA; it's not my thing, but it's been probably the best series I've ever watched. It's unbelievable. So good series, man.
Sure
But
is.
we're lifelong Knicks fans,
That's
and
awesome.
lifelong Knicks fans. As long as we've been alive, it's pretty much been nothing but misery, right? That's literally what it's been. So to be here watching this and experiencing this, to me, this is the ultimate. This is the ultimate goal for me as a sports fan. And I'm a Ranger fan. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a New York Giant fan. I'm a Knicks fan. And I've said this before. If you told me right now, here's a contract, sign it. If the Knicks win a championship this year, you'll never see another one of your teams win another championship again. I'd sign it right now.
I will say this, man. They're not only probably one of the best teams I've seen in recent history. They're also extremely lucky. Like almost every bounce is going their way when they need it, and it's impressive.
Yeah.
Like everything has fallen in place for them. It's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
So I guess kind of to put a bow on this, we kind of went through your line, and we're going to soon get into questions, the hot box questions, if you're willing to play hot box questions, and then I'm going to have to probably jet out right before the questions. But Charles, what else do you want to put a bow on here?
Nothing. That's about it. So, like we always like to ask everybody, hot box questions is next. Hot box questions is 2 random questions that we're going to ask from each of us. And if Mick bounces out, I'll ask his for him. But we want to ask you, are you willing to play hot box questions?
Sure. Let's go.
Sure. Let's do it. So, hot box questions are brought to you by Beard Apothecary.
What is going on, Real Smoke fam? John here from Beard Apothecary. Today, we're going to talk about Father's Day. So, yes, I'm in the room that Tay built. Anyways, Father's Day. Last year we dropped Daddy-O, and Daddy-O was that beach feel, that pineapple, that coconut, that fresh outdoor scent. Well, this year we wanted to change things up a little bit. We wanted to do something in honor of Tanya's dad, Pete. Many of you know she lost him back in September, and we wanted to do something to honor him. So Pete was a guy that was super generous, just a loving guy. He loved his family. He loved his kids. He loved his grandkids. And yes, he even liked me. So we wanted to do something in honor of him. So Tanya went looking, and she came up with a scent profile that she thinks kind of nailed it. And when I smelled it, I was like, there's no question. We had a whole bunch laid out, and this was the one just stood out above all the others. It's going to be that spice and bergamot and amber that make you think of the sea captain and make you think of just that time out on the water. And this one's really near and dear to our hearts. And so we have officially dropped the Captain Pete, and this is live on the website right now. And we want to thank everybody for everything they do for us, because we wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. And that means the world to us. Make sure you like and follow the boys so we can keep this thing running, the juggernaut that is Real Smoke Podcast. And as always, remember, don't let the beard look weird. Stay metal, my friends.
All right. So, question number 1, Mick.
All right. So are we doing one question, Charles? Just because I'm going to roll after this question. We are doing 2? All right. I guess I got time. Her plane just landed. All right. So I need some music for the post-show promos. All right. So what's your favorite musical band or artist? 1 or 2 from each of you.
I'm gonna go with the Wu-Tang.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go two opposite ends of the spectrum. Linkin Park is my favorite rock band. Will always be my favorite rock band, and I'm a big EDM guy. And Hardwell is my favorite EDM DJ.
Got it, man. Thank you.
Nice. So question number 2, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
If anyone tells you no in life, you're probably speaking to the wrong person.
For me, it's real simple. Best advice: grow up.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Mick, question number 3.
All right. So if you could have a cigar with any person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I'll answer quick. I'll give you 2 for it. One would be my grandfather. He passed away a short time ago. Nick knows me and my grandpa were extremely, extremely close my whole life. And just to spend another minute with him would be worth everything. But if not on a personal level, for me, it would have to be Frank Sinatra. I would need to smoke and have a drink with Frank Sinatra.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't really have many people smoking around me most of my adult life that like when I first started. But I think I would say I would love to sit down with, I guess, almost anyone in the Padron family and pick their brain.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's a good answer.
That is a great
I would
answer.
say I would have said Matt Booth, but I've done that already. And I would gladly do it again, by the way, if he's watching this.
Oh yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm just gonna do this and jump off now before you guys get into the video questions. Just want to say real quick, first, thank you guys, man. It was awesome getting to know you guys better. If you guys ever need anything in the future, reach out, man. We got you. This is what we do, man. We want to help. Uncle Lou at Lure always says, "Rising tides raises all ships," man. So that's why we do this, and hopefully we can work together again soon. So
yeah, man.
Also, I am moving back to Pennsylvania in August. Career move, got a promotion, so we're closer. So I'm in between Pittsburgh and Philly kind of area in the middle of the state. So hopefully we can get together and actually have a cigar in person soon.
Nice.
So,
We'll be up there August 14th.
Yeah.
I moved back like the week prior, so that might not happen, but soon, but very soon. So we'll definitely talk. And anyone listening, hit that subscribe button. And since I'm leaving, feel free to talk shit about me. I'll be listening. And much love, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
Bye, Charles.
All right, so bye, bud. Be careful. Before I ask the final question, we do have somebody coming on to help me finish out the show here in a little while. So anybody in the comments, if you're wanting to, guess who it is. Try to take a guess. Who it is. Who's going to be the guest? So final question for Hotbox Questions. It's Men's Mental Health Month. And last week we did our Men's Mental Health episode. So as two guys who've grown up together and probably been through the shit together, good, bad, and everything, for anybody who's watching who may be going through some shit, what is some advice that you guys as dudes would be willing to give another guy who may be struggling just a little?
You're not alone, especially in this community of the cigar world. There's plenty of groups, there's plenty of discords out there. We belong to the Dirty Ash community, and we've been there from the inception of it. And when I tell you, there are more people in there that will pick you up when you're down. It's not even a joke. I've seen people go through the worst of the worst in their lives, and all they got to do is jump in there, and there will always be someone to guide you, to help you. You're just not alone. Just don't be afraid to open up and ask. Never be ashamed. There's always someone that has gone through something similar or something worse than you, and the help is there. You just don't, no reason to take it on by yourself.
Yeah, I would say at some point in your life or in the life that you're in now, there is somebody else who needs you. And if you can't be you, then that person is also going to struggle. So attempt to get yourself right. There's plenty of people and plenty of voices and plenty of avenues and channels that you could go and talk to people, be with people, you know, whatever it is that keep you grounded. If you don't know how to achieve that at that moment or in time, like Nick said, the best possible thing in my mind is to reach out and have that conversation with somebody and say, I'm struggling, I need help, what can I do? You know, because a lot of times you talk to people and maybe they give you a different perspective on something that you weren't thinking about initially, you know, and a lot of times when you have conversation with people, it's like, oh, you know, no, yeah, I could do that. Or yeah, you know, so just having conversation with people and opening up and being able, and I know it's a lot easier said than done, but just being able to say, you know, I need help, I'm in trouble, anything it may be, you know, just have that communication, and let people know that you're in this place so people could help you if you need it.
Guys, I love both of those. Those are really good. So, guys, if you're needing that, again, just ask for help. I mean, just like I said last week, the strongest thing any dude can do is just say he's not okay and then just go find help.
Absolutely.
So our last two questions are called the Ask It For It questions. One of them, the first one is our guest that we had on last week. We always ask our guests from the week that we have to leave a question for the guest we have coming up. So last week we had our guests leave a question for you, and then we have one of our Patreon members do the same thing. So our Ask It For It questions are brought to you by Southpaw Stogies.
Hey everyone, I'm Wes Chandler with Southpaw Stogies. If you're looking for a new cigar lounge, especially in the Lebanon, Tennessee area, boy, have I got the place for you. Come on, let me invite you inside. Here at Southpaw Stogies, we're not just a cigar lounge, we're a community. Whether you're a cigar enthusiast or new to smoking, we want to make sure that you feel right at home. Not only do we do cigars, but if you're looking for a great drink, we've got a curated selection of alcohol, craft beer, and oh yes, we do coffee as well. And most importantly, we want to make sure that you feel right at home at Southpaw Stogies, and we hope we see you soon.
So huge thanks to Wes over at Southpaw Stogies. If you're in the Middle Tennessee area, go check them out. He has a beautiful lounge, and he's got a great selection of cigars, whiskey, coffee, everything. Great lounge for you guys to look into. His line his group loves boutique cigars. So last week, one of our guests that we had on was Sean Curtis. He is on YouTube as Pew Pew Tactical. He does a lot of gun tube stuff. So he has a question for you.
Hey guys, it's Sean with Pew Pew Tactical. My Ask It Forward question to you is, what are 3 things you were genuinely appreciative of? 3 things that you were thankful for. List them out.
It's a good question.
Appreciated above. Well, I guess I could start. One is family, first and foremost. I think if your spouse, especially being in this industry, doesn't support and accept the craziness that goes on in some of this business, I don't think you get anywhere. I guess number 2 would be probably friends, and I'm not talking your fly-by-night friends. I'm talking about the friend you'll call to help you escape out of the country type friend that is there no matter what, right? And unfortunately, for a lot of people, maybe that's not a reality, but maybe it should be a reality. And I guess the third thing would be, I guess, just thanking God and believing that He has the answers for you and that things will always work out for you as long as you're a decent human being.
I like it. What you got, Matt?
Yeah, so for me, I definitely agree with Nick with the friends and family thing. Um, Nick will tell you, me and my wife are together 18 years. I have three beautiful children, a 9-year-old boy, a 7-year-old girl, and a 5-year-old boy. Um, Nick has two beautiful children himself. I actually introduced Nick and his wife together, so he owes me his children in the
Ha.
future. It's just, but yeah, I definitely say family and foremost. That the fact that my wife was able to put the kids to bed today and give me the time to come out here and have a conversation with you guys without an argument, without anything like that. Like, oh, you got a podcast to do for your cigar business? Go ahead, go. I'll take care of this in here. So that support, coming from the family, like Nick said, is extremely important because, you guys know you do this podcast. It takes a lot to do it. It takes a lot to put it together. Running a cigar business is a lot. It takes a lot of moving parts. That's added on to our regular, our jobs, our wives, our kids, our family. It's a lot. It encompasses a lot of our time. I cannot disagree with Nick more when he said about the friends, because at some point in time, certain friends stop being friends and become family. So when you have that ability and you have that longevity with people that you trust, that you allow in your home, and I trust Nick with everything. I trust Nick with my kids, and if I trust you with my kids, there's nothing else in this world I wouldn't give you. So the friends that become family are I don't think anybody should ever take for granted and not appreciate. And just the solemn belief that I don't take for granted is that there are still good people in this world. There are still way more good people in this world than not. It's a lot of time you catch the spotlight on the bad people. You never get the spotlight on the good people. But there's a lot of good people in this world, and especially we're talking about Mental Health Month. There's a lot of people out there that will help, will willingly help, will go out of their way to help somebody in need. And I think people like that and things like that should always be appreciated.
That's awesome. Really quick, if you don't mind saying, what's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Tina Marie.
So Tina, I will jump on here and say thank you for allowing him to come out here and taking care of the kids, because just like, my kids are older now. Two of them are adults and one's going to high school, but even still doing this kind of stuff, whenever I have to come out here an hour and a half before show starts, do the show, and then the hour of uploading afterwards, it's all on her. So I appreciate everything your wife does for you to allow you to be able to do this. So final question comes from Patreon.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jimmy, one of Real Smoke's new Patreons. My question for Matt and Nick is that since beginning in 2022, what do you think has made the biggest difference in the success with new and veteran enthusiasts with the exclusive blends and small batch cigars that you guys offer? And then also, as a new enthusiast such as myself, which one of the cigars of your collection would you recommend? Thanks, guys.
Another good question.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
I guess I would say don't be afraid as a newer person to smoking cigars, to experiment, to try new things. Don't settle on one brand. Don't try a handful of them, and within that brand, don't base anything off of the first cigar you smoke from that brand, right? Because when you have a variation and different expressions of cigars, right, from a brand, that's coming from, let's just say, from our palates, right? When we're test blending and seeing what we want to release, the way we do it is we smoke everything individually without any influence from each other. But the one thing that we seem to always come to is the same pretty much core idea of what we want to put out there. And I guess that translates to any newer cigar smoker out there. Just like I said, don't be afraid. Just try everything that's new. you know, and you never know. You might get surprised, you know, walking into Cigar Vault and buying one of these cigars at $10. At $10. There aren't many cigars that are sub 10 that you can say, oh my God, I would smoke this every day for that price, right? And if the cigar is good, hey, that's a bigger plus, right? I like I said last night, I had a cigar night with the community, and you know, I was talking to one gentleman where he goes and buys like these $4 or $5 cigars, you know, whatever. He's like, they're okay. I just buy them because they're cheap. I'm like, okay. So of course I introduced him to our stuff, and I gave him some cigars, and he was like, wow, this is so much better than what I'm smoking. I'm like, all right. He's like, what is this? What do you sell these for, like $20 a pop? I'm like, what? Here's the website. And he looked it up, and he's like, $10? He's like, for real? I'm like, broaden your horizon. You know?
I would say for us, you know, for me and Nick, like we come here and we have a conversation, and the way we're having a conversation with you here, this is the way we are in real life. Like you come to see us and we just have a conversation. So I think a lot of people like our backstory. A lot of people like the legacy and the friendship that we have and the family that we have. And, you know, we're trying to portray that in our brand. Like we're trying to, you know, let people know that this isn't just a, you know, fly by night type thing. You know, we've been family forever, and now we have a cigar company. And I think a lot of people get behind things like that. And that I think is a big catalyst for us, especially meeting us for the first time and having that conversation. As far as for us, somebody that wants to try one of our cigars, I would love to tell you, you know, the list of my favorite cigars that I've ever had by my company. You know, you cannot obtain them anymore because they are completely sold out. But a good starting point for us, if you're, you know, our LE drops, we sell in 5-packs. So if you're looking to just give a sample or give a try, go to Cigar Vault Oakdale. Literally, pick one of the cigars, pick one of the colors, and you're not going to be disappointed. You know, if you like the Connecticut type smoke, buy the Connecticut. If you're more medium and like the Habano, pick up a Habano. You know, if you like a little bit more fuller, pick up the Maduro. And I mean, again, I'm sitting out here. The weather in New York, it's 90 degrees and it's 100% humidity. I mean, it is disgusting out here right now. And if you could see, you know, I mean, even burn, you know, everything. The cigars are constructed extremely well. You're not going to have that fall apart issue, you know, with the cigar. As far as flavor profiling goes, and this is what I tell everybody, I said, I hate to give flavor profiling what I think, because everybody's palate is different. You know, you're going to get different flavor profiles if you're drinking a specific drink. You're going to get different flavor profiles if you just ate something and smoking afterwards. You know, you're going to get different flavor profiles if you're smoking 2 or 3 cigars in a row, you know? So for me, you know, burn, construction, smoke output, all of those have to be, you know, good. All of those have to be good. It has to burn even. It has to be constructed well, can't be plugged and all that. And I have to say that our cigars do not have those issues, you know? So depending on what you're looking for, I would definitely not. I would not pick up one of our cigars if you want to try it, and I would pretty much bet that you will not be disappointed in what you smoke from us.
To put it out there,
Awesome.
just in case anyone is curious, we do have some of our LE stuff that we released last year still available. Unfortunately, this year's conspiracy theories literally just sold out yesterday. But I do have some of later of last year's cigars available. We have some Midnight Ride, and we released our first holiday release, which was the Holly Red last December. We still have those available, so if anyone wants to try them, hit us up on a DM or message me or whatever, and I'll figure out how to get them to you. And I guess leading into all this, I don't know, Charles, you tell me if I'm allowed to do this or not allowed to do this. when you do your giveaways on here, I guess I would be okay with, let's give away a 5-pack sampler of what's at the Cigar Vault.
That'll work. We can do that.
Just get me the information to whomever is the winner, and I'll get them one of each expression, and I'll get them out to them.
That'll work. We will take care of that one for you.
Is that,
there you go.
Copyrighted? That's probably copyrighted.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, well.
I didn't say that.
So you were talking about hit you up and stuff like that if they want to talk about some of your previous LEs. So that takes me into the last part. If there's anything that we missed that you wish that we would have gotten to, this is your time to hit on it. If not, let everybody know where they can find you, your website, your socials. We've already said Cigar Vault carries, some stuff. Fill everybody else in what they need to know.
Yeah, so most of our LEs we do direct to consumer. They really don't go out to retail. So if you just hit us up on the Chèvre Cigar Co. Instagram, or if you hit us up on the Goat Cigar Club page itself, I will respond to you and we will work out the details. We do have a website in the works. As everyone knows, sometimes websites take some time. And but once that's available, if there are any LEs still available, they will probably go up on the site for you to purchase through there.
And we're also going to be at Cigar Vault Oakdale. What are the dates, Nick? You know the dates.
August 14th and 15th.
Yeah, so it's the Friday and Saturday. If anybody is in the Pittsburgh area, I would suggest, I'm not going to dabble into too much detail, but the Friday, the August 14th on the Friday, might be a good time for you guys to stop there. We're going to have a table. We're going to be selling some cigars, and there's I would say there's a good possibility that there's going to be possibly a brand new cigar that's going to be there. Maybe, not saying for sure, but you might want to pop in if you want to, have first dibs on a possible new cigar for that day.
Awesome. Well, like Mick said before he jumped off there, if there's anything that you ever want from us, feel free to hit us up. If you ever have something coming out that you just want to talk about, we do, second and third run shows. I mean, we've had guests on here for their third and fourth time, and we do smaller shows where, it's less backstory and more about what you've been doing over the last whatever months and what's coming up, and then just shoot the shit with you for a little bit.
Sure.
And you're more than welcome to jump on with us. Also, if there's anything that you're posting that you want collabed, feel free. Any person that we ever have on here, if they collab with us, we will always collab back. That way it gets you more exposure. So I want to say thanks so much for you two jumping on here, taking the time out of your evening and being with us for a little bit. Thanks for telling stories and having a good time.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you having us, man. This was really cool.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this for a couple of months. Nick
it took us a little while.
You guys are hard to get an interview with. Jesus Christ.
If you want a prime episode, we're usually 2 to 3 months booked out. And like I told you guys in the green room, we are booked. We're booking end of August, 1st of September right now. And again, we're just
awesome.
hitting June. So thanks so much, guys. We'll let you have the rest of your evening.
All right, man.
When Nick told me about this, and he said I put it in my calendar, so everything was ready. I'm ready to go, right? And then the finals schedule came out, and I called Nick and I was like, I haven't looked at the final schedule yet. I said, I hope there's not a game on the day we got to do the podcast. I said, because that might be an awkward, maybe we have to cancel conversation. But it ended up working out perfect.
Mick has been on an episode the last couple of weeks where there's been some kind of playoff, whether it's hockey or whatever, where you can see the glow of the TV and you watch him doing this. And then he has to kick back in. So I get it. So, all right, guys, have a great evening. I'll let you get back to your lives. We will talk again soon.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you very much again, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Am I here? Ooh, and just like that, episode 81. Oh no. Hey, am I here? Okay, just like that, episode 81 is in the books, and it looks like I'm all by myself. And that was, we had one. We had a technical difficulty, so we got to say it. These technical difficulties are brought to you by Katie Cigars. Go check out Katie Cigars on Instagram, on their website. Thank you, Mark, for everything that you do. So in the comments really quickly, huge thanks to our guests that we had on there. Loved getting to talk with them. But we do have a special guest coming on, and I did ask, to put in chat who everybody thought was going to be coming on here. So we had a bunch of people leave comments. So go over them real quick. Could it be fake Mick? Well, maybe. It could be fake Mick. Maybe. Macho Man Randy Savage? No. Rob with 13 Knives? Good guess. Ed Sheen? Good guess. Could it be Hayes Gray? Could it be Chipper Jones? Hey, do not say bad things about the Braves people. Could it be Batman, Cassius Clay, Norm, RFK Jr., or Taylor Swift? 50 Cent, Glorilla, Kermit the Frog, Ronald McDonald. When is Fred Durst going? All good comments. But to help me close out the show tonight is probably the best substitute for the one and only Mick. It's Kai, Mick's daughter.
For some reason, I cannot hear you, Charles. I'm not sure what's going on.
All right, so let's do this.
I am not sure what's going on.
I guess I just had to kick her from here, so let's go ahead and do this again. Man, you're getting some ad time. That technical difficulty was brought to you by Katie Cigars. Thank you very much. All right, so while she gets a chance to jump back in here, I am going to go ahead and start getting into the last things that we have to do, and it is our cigar review and our prizes. Kai is jumping back in here. Let's see if she can hear me. I don't know. Kai, are you here?
Yeah, finally. I'm not sure what happened there.
It was another technical difficulty, but we are going to go ahead and get into the cigar review, prizes, and then a little meanwhile in somewhere. But before we do that one, I want to say thank you for jumping on here. What you missed was when I was introducing you, I said the only person that could be better than Mick himself would be Kai, his daughter. So glad to have you on here. And Mick always likes to say, so I have to say it too. If you ever listen to the intro to our show, when it talks about at the very end, the young lady that is talking, that is Kai. So she has been with us since the first of the podcast.
Happy to be here. When my dad sent me a text, he's like, oh, sorry to say, my dad sent me a text and he said, hey, you want to hop on and do the Meanwhile in Memphis, but, do a little PA bit. I was happy to do it. So I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I'm glad you're on here. So tonight's cigar review is brought to you by Cigar Army. Since Cigar Army is doing their final week before they do their fundraiser, we'll put this one up one more time. The EMT fundraiser for the Premium Non-Curry Foundation presented by Cigar Army, Saturday, June 13th, Brothers of the Leaf Lounge in New Windsor, New York. Ticket prices are $70. That gets you one cigar, beer, high noons, soda, and water, food by chefs. And a cash bar will be available, and raffles will be sold in the event. Only prizes will be there. So go check them out if you haven't done that one. We did have a t-shirt that we were selling to give the profits to them for this. We pulled it down today and went ahead and cut them a check. So thank you to everyone who bought one of those cigars. So Mick always does the cigar review first. He mailed in his own review. So let's hear from the one and only Mick.
What's up, everybody? It's Mick with the Real Smoke Podcast, but you already knew that because you're watching the show. So, again, I feel like I'm talking into the future. This is always so much more weird than just doing the show. I had to do my cigar review early because I had to bail a little bit early tonight. I had to pick up the wife from the airport. So, yeah, I'm probably en route now listening to myself from something I pre-recorded. Anyway, so let's get to the cigar review. We'll get through this. Tonight, well, earlier this week, we smoked the Chèvre Maduro box press, as suggested by Norm at the Cigar Vault Oakdale. My review: aroma from the body, mustiness, hay, dark fruit. Aroma from the foot, light barnyard, a raisin sweetness, a little bit of cocoa. Taste from the cold draw, cocoa, a natural sweetness, and kind of a sawdusty, woodsy flavor. First third notes: cocoa powder, mild earth, a raisin sweetness, espresso with cream. Retro was black pepper and a touch of sweetness. Second third notes was dark chocolate, earth, mineral, cedar, plum notes, and espresso. Retro was black pepper and earth. Final third notes were bitter chocolate, damp earth, got very minerally towards the final third. Charred cedar, dark fruit, espresso, and cold brew coffee, kind of that really dark roasty flavor. Retro was black pepper and earth and mineral notes. I will say that there wasn't a lot of flavor changes in this, but if you like a consistent, darker, gets earthy, chocolatey, black pepper notes, you'd enjoy this cigar. Very consistent the whole way through. It just was more charred and minerally towards the end. Let's see, pre-light experience, 18 out of 20. Beautiful. Love a box press. Love the band on it. Great looking cigar. The aromas were great off it too. Flavor enjoyment, 12 out of 15. Construction characteristics, 27 out of 30. Overall, great burn line. Great ash. Stacked dimes held for probably about an inch and a quarter. Solid on the construction for sure. Smoke production and final thoughts, I gave it a 28 out of 30. 28 out of 35. My final score was an 85. Hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. And I guess we will see you next week. Peace.
I think he did a good job. Do you think he did a good job?
I think he did a good job. He's so funny.
Daddy looked tired.
He did. I think he's going through it.
Yep. I think he is. He's one, glad to finally be back home. And two, I think he's finally glad to have your mom back. So
I was gonna say that they were apart for a little while there with them both doing their own thing. So I'm happy they're reunited.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Mick, get some sleep. Just saying. Yeah, we love you.
We love you. Get some sleep.
So here's mine. Aroma off the body, chocolate, musty, manure. Aroma off the foot, dried fruit, tobacco. Taste off the cold draw, dried fruit, bready, little fig note. On the light, mesquite wood, hardwood, black pepper, slight citrus. Into the first third, notes up front are a creamy sweet note, followed by a dark chocolate and a tart fruit note, followed by a slight mineral note on the finish. The retro is dried fruit, cinnamon, and a slight cocoa powder. Draw is great, burn is good, and leaves lots of flavor. The burn is okay, wavy at times. Ash is messy but holds. Strength is about a medium plus. Into the second third, notes up front are woody, black pepper, salty, mineral, and a slight sweet note pops up every now and then. The retro is bitter, chocolate, mesquite wood, black pepper, slightly creamy sweet note pops up every now and then. Draw is great, smoke is good, burn is wavy. At times, touch-ups are needed to correct. Ash is messy. Strength is about a medium plus. In the final third notes, I get mesquite wood, earth, mineral, salt, black pepper. The retro is earthy, black pepper, mineral, and wood. Draw is still good. Smoke is still the same. Burn is a little crazy. Ash is the same. Strength is about a medium plus. Finish on this cigar reminds me of a smoked mesquite steak or barbecue with a little bit of char behind the seasoning. I like a good salty mineral cigar. This at the end of it was a little much for me. I did enjoy it through the thirds though. So Preload Experience gave it an 18 out of 20. Flavor Enjoyment, I gave it a 13 out of 15. Construction and Characteristics, 27 out of 30. Smoke Production and Final Thoughts gave it a 28 out of 35. I give this one an 86. So Mick gives this one an 85. I give it an 86. Comes out to an 85.5. We round up to an average of 86. So the Real Smoke Podcast gives the Chèvre Cigar Company Hudson Orange an 86. Not a bad cigar. That's actually a really good score for us. So what do we got next? We got prizes to give away, and you get to help out with that one. So we have 3 prizes to give away. We do have 2 $25 gift cards from Cigar Vault Oakdale, and we do have a 5-pack from Chèvre Cigar Company to give away. So if you have never won from us before, use hashtag RealSmokeNew in the comments. If you haven't won from us just this month, use hashtag RealSmoke. And everybody, if you want to enter in the 5-pack, which we'll draw last, it'll be hashtag RealSmoke. So even if you haven't won from us or you're brand new, if you're brand new, type in both the hashtag RealSmokeNew and then come back, type in hashtag RealSmoke, because you will have the chance to win the cigars at the end. So let's go ahead and do this. And usually while I set this up, Mick always gets the fun thing to give all the rules, but I will go in and do that one. Let's see, hashtag real. I'm not even typing. Here we go. Hashtag real smoke. So that is going to be for anybody who hasn't won from us just this month. By the way, the people who have won from us this month is Hologram and Coulter. So let's see. Let's go into this screen, share this screen, go to that screen, share that one. There it is. All right. So rules to the game is you have to be live to win. You have roughly what we call 30 mix seconds. Mix seconds can usually be anywhere from 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 35 seconds, a minute and a half. But today it's going to be roughly 30 Kai seconds. So she will basically give the countdown of when we need to go ahead and give or basically move on. So Kai, to help us out, I need a number. How many times are we going to spin this before we get a number or get a winner?
I'll go with 3. Go for 3 spin.
All right, so here we go. This is for somebody who has not won this month. So here we go. First person who does not win, sorry about your luck, is going to be Hologram. You're already disqualified because you've won this month. You won last week. Sorry about your luck. Number 2 is going to be, but he still entered in to win cigars. So number 2, who shall you be? Rob the Cigar Czar. Oh, Rob Thomas.
Ooh.
Both of his names popped up. And this is going to hopefully be our winner. Remember, if you are in the comments, you have to say that you are here. You have roughly 30 Kai seconds to say that you are here. Smoking Somsus, you have not won, and you've proven that you can get stuff sent to you. So Smoking Somsus, Mark, you have about 30 Kai seconds. So Kai, while he has some time to do this, how you been?
I've been pretty good, just working and taking care of my grandparents. How have you been?
Working and trying to take care of every crazy thing that's going on in here.
I bet you're doing a great job. My dad seems to leave you hanging, so you got to give it to him next time.
So Smoking Somsus says that he didn't enter to win. He says, I'm not here. Spin again. So let's go ahead and spin one more time. So here is our winner. Let's see. Who shall it be? Speak Easy Country Club. Speak Easy Country Club. You have about 30 Kai seconds to put in the chat that you are here. So Speak Easy Country Club. Smoking Somsus could have won something, and he said he wasn't here. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Speakeasy has jumped in here right before Kai said spin again. Speakeasy Country Club is here.
There we go.
All right. So I'm going to put you down. Speakeasy Country Club, what I need you to do is, if you have Instagram, go check the podcast channel and go hit Real Smoke _pod. Go send Mick a message with your mailing, name, address, phone number, and email address. He will get you all the information sent to your email for you to claim your prize, a $25 gift card to the Cigar Vault. Now, if you don't have Instagram, message me on the YouTube page. Send me a message on YouTube, and I will get your stuff to you, or I'll get your information to Mick as well. But easiest way, go do it on there. All right, so that was a new name. So if you entered in the Real Smoke new and your name comes up, you do not win. We have to go past you because you've now won this month. So let's go ahead and kick out of this for just a second. We are going to choose the live stream that we are in right now. The hashtag is Real Smoke New. And let's go ahead and do this one. 3 entries on here. So, Kai, how many times are we going to spin it this time?
The first try.
First try. Here we go. Kai says the first try, and the winner of the second $25 gift card to the Cigar Vault Oakdale is going to be, no way.
No way.
Kai wins. Not rigged, but she did enter in the chat earlier in the episode. That's awesome.
Guess it's my lucky day.
Mick's going to be excited. So we are going to go back one more time. Smokey Psalms says, we need to spin it 17 times. No. She calls
we might be here all night.
No. Yeah,
we'll be here all night.
All right. So we are going to kick back out of this one more time. Go back and choose the correct live stream. Look at all those live streams we got coming up. Look at all those. We got a lot going on. Hashtag Real Smoke. This is going to be back again. Uh-oh. Did I mistype? Let's try it again. This hashtag Real Smoke. 16. There we go. All right. Kai, you can't pick the first one this time because there needs to be a couple in there.
That's
so
okay.
This is going to be open to everyone. Doesn't matter if you've won before or not. This is going to be for the 5-pack cigar prize from Chèvre Cigars. Kai, what's the number?
I think we'll go with 5 spins.
5 spins. Here we go. Number 1. You do not win the 5-pack. Birdline Brotherhood, sorry about your luck, but it could pull your name back up again. We've seen it happen 2 or 3 times. I see Kai on there again. She can't win again. Smoking Somsis, sorry about your luck, bud. Number 3. I see a few new names in there. Coulter's on here. He didn't win. Number 4. Birdline Brotherhood again, number 5. This is going to be your winner. If you are live on the podcast with us right now, you may be the winner. Who is it going to be? Josephus. Josephus, are you on here? You have about 20 to 30 Kai seconds. You never know. She may say her Kai seconds are like 3 seconds long. Let's see if he shows up. Uh-oh. Birdline says, congrats, Joe. Congrats from Smoking Sicilian. Josephus says he is here. Josephus, once again, do us a favor. You know what to do. You've done it before. Please go send Mick a message on the podcast page with your mailing name, address, and that's probably all he needs. send that to Mick and tell him that is for the 5-pack of cigars. Okay? Cool. So that is all the prizes. So Speakeasy wins a 25, Kai wins a 25, and Joe wins cigars. Awesome. So the last thing that we need to do is get into a little bit of meanwhile. Are you ready for that, Kai?
I sure am. If you are, we picked some good ones.
All right. So tonight's meanwhile, can't say where it's from, but I'm pretty sure you can guess. Tonight's meanwhile is brought to you by Dissident Cigars.
I am Sin Coburn, owner of Dissident Cigars, and now also a part of Northern Cigars. I'm super stoked about this, and I can't wait to talk more about this adventure. For those of you that don't know, Dissident is for those of us who are the blue-collar workers, the bikers, the rebels, the badasses, you name it. It's really for anybody, but if you go against the grain and you're not scared to stand up for yourself, then Dissident is for you. We are punk AF. And Northern Cigars, this is such a wonderful project that I'm a part of, and I'm so excited for you guys to learn about. I wish I could say more about it, but there's a reason why I'm also a part of Northern Cigars. These cigars are fantastic. We're taking in the roots of Nicaragua, the culture, the experience, the agriculture, and we're putting it into cigars. And you guys are going to learn really quick what Northern Cigars is, and I can't say too much more about it, but I'm super stoked. So you guys need to stay tuned about what I have to say about Northern and Dissident, because I think it's going to blow your socks off. But meanwhile, light up and enjoy this next segment of Real Smoke.
Guy in camo selling iPod, Bigfoot cans. Cheerleaders tailgating a Walmart lot. Preacher with a ferret yelling parking's hot. Meanwhile in Pennsylvania, you can't make this up. Meanwhile in Pennsylvania, keep your head down, don't look up.
So your dad always likes to talk about full circle. So you, a couple of months ago, did a podcast where you and Sin interviewed your dad and I. We have you on tonight, and Sin is now the sponsor for your dad's segment, Meanwhile in Memphis. So now it's your segment for the night. So the floor is yours.
I love that. I love that Sin was the pre to this. Love you, Sin, sending some love. But so tonight I'm going to be taking over the Meanwhile in Memphis, but instead doing what I'm going to call the Commonwealth Chronicles. Yes, sir.
Your audio is all jacked up. It has to be your microphone in your earbuds.
I actually don't have any earbuds in tonight. I'm not sure what's going on. It's crackling a little bit.
Oh, wow. Do you want to jump out and jump right back in one more time?
Yeah, give me that one. Let me try one more time.
All right, go ahead and do that. Well, it's happening more this episode than it has in the last couple of times. But one more time, we have to say, these technical difficulties you brought by Katie Cigars. Go check them out because they got some good stuff, and they're coming out with more stuff, and he's got some awesome swag. So let's go to the chats really quickly. Yep, it's Katie time. Congrats, Josephus. And let's see, are you back?
Is it any better?
No.
I'm sorry. I feel horrible about my technical difficulties.
Wait, there you are. Go ahead. Go
Is it
for
a little
it.
better?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to call it the Commonwealth Chronicles. For some reason, Pennsylvania were known as the Commonwealth, so I thought that kind of flowed. Not nearly as good as Meanwhile in Memphis, of course. But we came up with three really good stories that we found. The first one is my favorite. It's a Pennsylvania man has been arrested after fleeing a hospital by running straight through a wall while naked. A 50-year-old Pennsylvania man is trending after allegedly smashing straight through a hospital wall, stripping naked, and fleeing into the woods. Authorities tracked him through nearby neighborhoods with a canine unit and eventually found him completely naked in the woods. Investigators say that he tried giving officers a fake name before admitting he smashed through the wall because it was the fastest way out. The bizarre story exploded online almost instantly because people couldn't believe someone literally Kool-Aid manned through a hospital wall. He's now facing multiple charges, including indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief. That one just had me laughing because of the Kool-Aid man. I can just like envision this older man just like naked running through this wall to the woods. It had me cracking up.
I will say that the fact that they wrote it like that in an article, that's great.
I thought that was awesome. I can just envision it.
That would be something that I would think of in Memphis every time.
Right. I was like, oh, this is crazy enough to fill in for this bit.
That's awesome. I like it. All right. So that's better than the last one that your dad put up. Let's go for a second one.
So the second one is pretty interesting. Body found in PA Creek turns out to be a realistic sex doll. Tunkhannock Township Police were called to investigate what passerby had thought was a person's foot protruding from the water of a creek in northern Pennsylvania. A father and child had been out retrieving a ball from the creek when they spotted what looked like a human foot sticking out of a black bag. Fearing the worst, officers who arrived at the scene called the county coroner as well as Pennsylvania State Police. Tunkhannock Police wrote on Facebook noting that the doll weighed about 50 pounds, and after all necessary steps were taken, it was determined the item was not a human. The foot they were able to observe through the bag was extremely detailed, all the way down to the pedicure it had, and they didn't want children finding this, was their quote, their statement. The authorities did not say whether they're trying to identify the person responsible for dumping the doll in the creek. I thought it was just crazy that this father and child found this, and then it ends up just being the sex doll. I thought that was hilarious.
I just want to know how the father explained that one.
Yeah, well, they're like, we don't want our children finding this, and like it looked like a real human, remains, and sure enough, it was not.
It's a mannequin. Somebody just had it displayed, and they didn't want it anymore. It's
right. Yep, it's just from the store down the street. They just tossed it here, didn't need it.
It's an oversized Barbie doll. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. That's my favorite line. Yeah, that was quite interesting, especially they called the coroner and the state police just to find out it was that. But they said they'd rather not waste their time, so whatever that was.
I would like to see the cops when they bring that into the evidence locker room and go,
right.
We found this.
Well, apparently the local police were like, we don't want to touch it, so we're not even going to open the bag to look at the body. We're going to wait till the state police get here. Imagine how embarrassed they felt when the state police opened that up and they're like, you called us all the way here for this?
An hour later, this is a silicone friend.
Yeah.
We don't need this. This is
just
yours.
toss it.
We're not going to touch it.
Do what you wish with it.
It's a mascot in some police department right now.
I bet they're just keeping it as like a prop.
They put it in some, like the lowest person who's on the force, they put it in his seat.
Couldn't imagine coming into that.
You said it, not me. Anyways, move on.
That's what she said. Anyway, the last one was pretty interesting. It was crazy. A 3-year-old girl hospitalized after Pennsylvania restaurant mistakenly served her alcohol. A 3-year-old girl was hospitalized in western Pennsylvania on Sunday after her family said a chef at a hibachi steakhouse accidentally squirted alcohol into the toddler's mouth. The girl's mother explained the family was seated at the restaurant when the chef began squirting sake into the mouths of adults using plastic bottle. A second bottle containing pink lemonade was supposed to be used for the toddler, but the girl appeared to be rattled by the taste of the drink she received. The sake and pink lemonade both were in condiment squirt bottles and looked similar. After the first 2 or 3 times, the girl started looking disgusted and they knew something was not right. Within 15 minutes, the girl reportedly became sick and appeared woozy. Out of caution, the girl was taken to UPMC Children's Hospital. The alcohol was no longer detectable in the girl's system by the time she arrived at the hospital due to the time that had passed. The girl has since recovered, and the chef who gave the toddler alcohol has now been suspended from work. That would be such a sight to see. Horrible, but...
I had a toddler that could have used some of that out, but I mean, come on.
They're growing some teeth, put a little bit on the gums.
I just want to see the girl's face the first time it hits her. She's like,
that is not pink lemonade.
yeah, no. So, yeah. So the funny thing is, if these are the kind of stories that you're pulling up, the stories that your dad's going to get when he moves back there is going to increase. So I like this.
Yeah. There's always something crazy going on here. And these stories were from all over PA. So there was definitely a lot to pick from.
Let's see. See if there's any comments really quickly before, meanwhile, Mars. Not quite. Let's see. Charles, my composure was top tier when everything was going crazy. Yeah, it happens. Let's see. Robert wants to say he was wondering where he left her.
Oh, I'll make sure it gets returned.
Okay, we'll send it right to you. And he said, put it in a uniform. So, all right, guys, that's been today's show, or tonight's show. Congratulations to all of our sponsors. Thank you to our guests who jumped on here. Next week, we have a guy who has become pretty famous on YouTube. Is JJ Lebo. If you don't know him, go check him out. But Kai, thank you so much for jumping on here and taking over for when your dad had to ditch me again. How dare him? But I guess it was for a good cause.
Yes.
I guess
thank you for having me. It was. Thanks for having me.
Oh, your dad always ends the episode with something nice to say. So,
yeah,
that's yours. So, would you lead us out of here?
Sure. Yeah. Just take care of yourselves. Take some time for yourself. And as my dad would say, take some time to smoke a cigar with someone you love.
Awesome. So have a great night, Kai. Thank you for jumping on here. Everybody on here, have a good night. Put in the comments, show her some love really quickly so she can look at it in the chat when she jumps off. But help us out with that. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Peace. Thanks, Kai.
The smoke is thick, the air is tight, cigars are lit, oh what a sight. Pour the whiskey, tequila too, this one for Mick and Charles and you. Thank you for tuning in. The Real Smoke Podcast makes us all grin. You light us up, you keep us strong. Cheers to you, we raise the song. Conversations deep, the stories fly. Ashes fall, with spirits high. The gas is rolling, the penters throw. You've kept us burning, don't let it go. Thank you for tuning in. The Real Smoke Podcast makes us all grin. You light us up, you keep us strong. Cheers to you, we raise the song. From the puff of the flame to the end of the night, you're part of the glow, you're part of the light. Making Charles with the